Welcome to the Q4 Prep Listing Roast. The reason we call it a Q4 Prep, and although it's only July, is because 9 times out of 10, no one actually starts prepping for Q4 until Q4, and that's stupid. So we always suggest to start prepping in July, which is why we kind of call it around here Christmas in July. So we start to prepare as best we can. For some of you, that means optimizing your listing. So we wanted to touch on that today. Of course, Amazon has gone through, per usual Amazon ways, I would say, countless amounts of changes in the past 7 months, this year. But a little bit about us. So we're both with Seller's Choice. My name is Andrew Baftone. I am the director in operations here at Seller's Choice. I've been in e-commerce marketing for well over a decade at this point. I handle all the strategy, and I get to play fun webinars like this.
That's it. I'm Morgan. I'm actually relatively new to the Seller's Choice team, but I function as primarily a copywriter and also the content coordinator here. So I basically get to decide what is good and what is trash, which is why I am also present on this webinar today.
Morgan is our queen of the English language.
Yes.
So she's here to batter your grammar, and I'm going to touch on some of the strategy stuff. So like I said, we're going to fly through these slides because A, they're kind of boring because no one likes to look at slides, but I just want to get the basis down. I'll make it super quick. So if we're going too fast for you, keep in mind I am going to send everyone the slides at the end of this. I will also put them up on SlideShare so you can get them there. So feel free to ignore half the stuff that we're going to go through, or pay attention, but you don't need to write anything down. So you're in the right place if you are obviously an Amazon seller, which I'm going to launch a poll and just make sure all of you are in fact Amazon sellers. So go ahead, let's make sure that everyone here is an Amazon seller. And if you are not, I would love to know that you're here, because I think that'd be kind of cool to have people here who are not Amazon sellers and are looking to do things right from the beginning. So I did just launch a poll. If you guys see it, let me know. Yeah, that's the only thing you can see on your screen, so you can't see my text from my wife. That's great. 27% of you are not sellers right now. Still gonna let this go for a minute. I feel like 30 seconds is enough. If you didn't answer it yet, that's on you. So 25%. Wow, a quarter of you are not Amazon sellers. So that's interesting. So welcome. We're going to show you what not to do. But in the beginning here in the slides, we are going to go through what to do. And of course, if you're here, you're awesome. Thank you for joining us. This is going to be fun. For those of you who have just now tuned in, I realize I'm talking like a mile a minute. I just want to get to the fun stuff, so I'm going to hammer through this. But send questions. Feel free to ask anything that you want throughout the entire time. We are looking at the chat. We will try to work with everyone throughout this whole thing, especially if we get to your listing and I offend you. Please do not chat. I don't care. So let's move listings. All right. Do you want to touch on that? So
yeah, sure.
It's not just me the whole time.
Yeah, you got it. So pretty much what we're going to go over is the structure of a general listing, how to properly function with titles, bullet points, and product descriptions. We will go over general content strategies that you can take away from this, as well as proper imagery techniques that we find most effective. Also, we will do best and worst examples of different techniques, as well as targeting correct audience members.
Beautiful. Most of the stuff we will touch on is going to be front-end listing, just because that's all we're going to be able to see, especially when we do the roasting. But here in the slides, we'll try to touch on some of the back-end stuff as well. But first stop is structure. So variations are key. There was a long time where people believed, like, I want to make everything apparent ASIN, and that is just not the case. You want the consumer to have options. So think of, this is my favorite analogy is, think about, in this case, this seller, let's assume he has a store, a brick and mortar store that sells Harvard Crimson t-shirts, and it turns out that you're a Georgetown fan. You then have to leave his store and go across the street and pass multiple competitors to buy that Georgetown shirt. If you variate, it's like having everything in one place. So you want to give the consumer options. You don't want them to leave your listing. So you want to get as many variations, color variations, size variations, all in one place. It is not a real estate game. So don't do the parent ASIN thing. It doesn't work. Everyone worries about, the new complaint I heard was if you merge them, so the reviews don't merge anymore. They used to, which was an awesome little hack, but they stopped doing that. but you don't lose reviews either. So each child ASIN is still treated like a parent. They still have their own reviews. They still rank for themselves. You'll still show up multiple times if you happen to search something. So it's not a real estate game. Vary it as much as you can. Title. This is more copy. You want this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to keep it as simple as possible. You want someone to be able to look at your title and understand exactly what you're selling. No questions asked. No extra fluff. So we recommend you keep it focused on the first 50 characters. Anything more than that, kind of a waste of time and space. Use adjectives, because oftentimes when people are searching for products, they will search adjective and then a noun, right? So it might be red shirts, or we might want gourmet peanut assortments in this particular instance. And always make sure that you have some sort of main keyword. That's the whole objective of ranking, right? You want your object to be, or rather your product to be in the title.
Ooh. Don'ts. Make it suit keyword stuffing. I'm going to say it's not Thanksgiving. Stop stuffing everything. Over shoving keywords in there, saying stuff that's irrelevant, which, by the way, when we get to the roast part of this, there's so much of this. Stop doing it. Titles, short, straight to the point. It is a title. It is not a paragraph. Just say what the product is and move on. So titles, again, like I mentioned, stop with overdoing it, adding way too much in there, keyword stuffing, etc. This is similar. Bullet points, relatively same stuff. So again, actually, once we get into the roasting part, emojis, capital letters, and paragraphs for bullet points. Just stop doing those. No one's reading that. So we're gonna get into it, and it's gonna get mean, but deal with it. Don'ts. Yep, that's basically what I talked about. So we'll get to that. You want this one?
Sure. So product descriptions. One, you should have EBC, first off. I think it's a better way to engage with your consumers, but if you are not a registered brand and instead you have a product description, essentially you want to address any extras and added benefits of your product itself. Make sure that you have consumer-centric language. I cannot stress this enough. You want the person reading what you are writing to fully understand what you're saying. Nobody cares about the extra words that make sense to you or a manufacturer. Make it simple, keep it to the point, and bullet points are much easier to read than heavy text, so anytime you can keep it short, do so.
The average consumer is not dumb, they're lazy. So you want to go quick, straight to the point, and make it super simple for them to understand. Otherwise, they're going to get bored with it, and they're going to move on. Product description, kind of went through this. HTML is against Amazon's TOS. A couple things you can still kind of get away with, as you saw in the previous example. Try to keep it to one line of copy and then break it up a little bit instead of one giant paragraph like this, who I found. Yeah, everything else was touched on. Imagery, high definition, lifestyle images, call outs, infographics, size charts. Make sure it's mobile friendly. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think most people now on Amazon either shop on mobile or start their shopping process on mobile, and then they go over to desktop. So if you can't read it on mobile in an image, it's pointless. So make sure you're quick, straight to the point, bold, big letters, and big copy if you're doing anything along callouts or size charts or infographics. What not to do is a ton of copy, like I just said, really bad images that you can't zoom in, and Morgan's favorite, poor grammar.
Oh, that really drives me up a wall. I specifically will not buy a product if there is even one spelling mistake in it. I want the same care and attention of your product to go into the way that you represent it in your imagery as well.
Lewis, I saw your question. You can submit ASINs. We have some that were pre-sent, but if you guys want to send more here as we go through some of this stuff and we start to do the actual roast here, and we have some time, I'll definitely get to more. So enhanced brand content is a big one. This one is, to me at this point, like, it's common sense. It's like not having a website back in like 10 years ago. Like, you just have to have this. So really the reason behind this is, like I said earlier, the average consumer is lazy. So they usually someone gets to an Amazon listing, they kind of glance the title to make sure that it is the product they want. Then they look at the picture, they open up the pictures, and they just siphon through the pictures. They breeze over the bullet points to catch any keywords that might catch their interest, and then they go down to see what everyone else said. So they go to reviews. The enhanced brand content catches their eye prior to this. So you want it to be big and bold, and you want it to be all branded and pretty, and you want to have a professional presentation because you want the product to seem legitimate. Otherwise, it's going to look like crap. People are going to read the reviews, and then they're going to go back up and they may leave. If you have negative reviews, you can actually address some of those things in the enhanced brand content, where you can actually say, like if a lot of complaints were, the product wasn't as hard as it claimed to be, you can say like it's this hard, so you can actually walk through, and then people will actually just not justify the reviews that were sent. That makes sense?
Yes.
I think I got that out. I kind of took a weird way with that, but you get it.
You did your best.
Poor Driver's back. This one's it's like the same as the product images. Mm-hmm. Like just don't have bad images with bad copy. It's super easy.
It's a general rule.
Invest the time into making sure that the imagery and the copy is accurate and short and to the point. I know way too many sellers who get way too focused on I want to flip this word and I want to do this and I want to do that. Like that stuff, it's not going to make a massive conversion difference. The only thing that will make a conversion difference is if you're saying something that the product is not. Otherwise, that's it. Right? You agree with that?
Absolutely.
Sure?
I agree.
Okay. So, the fun part. All right. So, you guys ready for this? So, okay. So, we got a lot more ASINs sent to us than I thought we were going to. So, we're going to go through these one by one. We're going to give some love, obviously, to whoever sent it over, but we will just say your first name. We will not say your last name in case someone hunts you down and does something. I don't know what they would do, but just to be safe. So, okay. So we're gonna start off. I think I put these in order. We'll start here. This one is our favorite. Okay. So who sent this?
This is specifically from Joseph.
I don't know that I have these in order. So yeah, okay, it is cool. So yeah, this one's from Joseph. Joseph, appreciate you sending this. So first glance, not bad. The title is long. It is unnecessarily long. Let me move this over real quick. So ensures your dog is snug and comfortable is probably not necessary. I don't think any of those are keywords that you may be actually getting ranked for. If they are, you could put them in the bullet points, but I personally believe that title is way too long.
I absolutely agree. Something else that I do like that they did well, right underneath the title, is their variations. So I like that I immediately have the option to shop different colors. I know that I would put maybe a harness on my cat, and I would definitely want it to be pink, right? But I also have the size options there too, so it's good that they all live in the same listing.
Yeah. So capital letters, hate these. Stop doing these. It looks like you're yelling at me. It looks like you're trying to break stuff up, and then it makes it difficult to read when you have, especially when you have this many, because now you even have it like in the bullet points. It's just, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't make anything more. If anything, I think it might give people anxiety. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff about this listing that we realized that we want to get into. It turns out that someone in our office happened to buy this product like I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then we just happened to get this submitted to us, so it was hilarious, and we wanted to discuss it. We now know as customers that the size chart is inaccurate. So she has a dog very similar to the small size dog here, and the small did not fit. The dog was way too small. So I think the size chart may be off, and I think I know why, and we're going to get there. But the rest of these, I like these. Like, I like that picture. I like that picture. That makes sense. It's a size chart. I get it. You could probably brand it a little bit more. It looks like you pulled this off Photoshop or something, or the internet somewhere. This is cute. I like that.
Looks a little bit like a Ninja Turtle mask.
It does look like a Ninja Turtle mask. And that I get. I don't like that there's no call outs. There's no like infographics on like why it's soft, maybe what it's made of. Obviously there's almost like protective padding. I look like a crab. Like protective padding.
We're gonna roast Andy.
Right? And I want some reference behind that. Like, what is that? Is it squishy? Is it not squishy? Is that just the design? So that's something that I think I would add to this. Nothing that we mentioned here, though, I think would have a major impact. We'll try to bring that up as we go along here on like what I think is like low hanging fruit for you guys. But in this case, those are things I would change, and you may see a good size increase, but I don't think it's going to be like a game changer. However, we're going to get into the enhanced brand content. So
We love that there is an EBC.
This is one of few ASINs we got that actually had enhanced brand content in it, which blows my mind. So we'll talk about enhanced brand content towards the end here, because apparently you guys need help with EBC, so we'll talk. But okay, so here's what's going on here. One, way too much copy on the top. My designers damn near quit their job when they saw 4 different fonts within the top fold.
Yeah.
So it threw them all off. They got all cranky about it. So I was like, all right. And then this size chart's the exact same thing from before. And then we think the mobile side of things, where I worry that these images, although they're adorable, are too small, especially even on mobile. You're not gonna be able to see that. Even on desktop, they're hard to I'd have to move in a little bit to see this. So this is where it gets good.
Yeah. Hopefully you can all see the screen. So just maybe take 30 seconds, just absorb this a little bit. And let us know maybe what your favorite dog breed is that you see on this size chart.
So we are an office of children, apparently. We are extremely immature, but we found this to be hilarious. So there's not a lot of branding to this. There's not a lot of imagery. It's enhanced brand content, and I feel like there's no branding to this. But I do understand the need for having a size chart and being a little bit more specific. However, if you dig a little bit deeper, there's some really nitpicky things of, okay, 3.5 lb and then 3.5 pound, and then 4 pound puppy, like any puppy. So like my dog is a golden retriever, straight out of the womb it wouldn't have fit, and then this thing would fit for like a week. So I get that, I'll give you that. And then there's some other stuff. So up here we have an extra small. It's a 6 pound Maltese, but the small happens to fit a smaller Maltese, which is interesting, and I don't know how that works. Then there is a 5-month-old mini dachshund, but it doesn't matter the size. So I'm very confused by this size chart. Now, then there's. Do you want this one?
No, I'll let you take this one. But I do also want to point out that a medium can fit a 151B healer puppy. That is a giant yike.
So if anyone ever wanted proof that enhanced brand content is not indexed, under small, there's also a 10-pound porn. And so obviously you can't get away with that on Amazon. And if we looked close, you zoom in, it's an R and an N. It is not a Pom, which I believe would be a Pomeranian. It is a 10-pound porn, in which case clearly not indexed, because that would have gotten flagged immediately. So extreme amount of odd grammar and just typos in this one section. So as I start to dig in, I would feel like, as an average consumer, I would go in here, I go, they clearly don't care enough about their enhanced brand content. Then I'm also not going to, I'm going to assume they don't care about their product either. So our assumption internally was that the person who bought this in-house probably read something down here, saw the 6-pound Maltese, and it ended up being too small, or however that happened. I can't remember how he worked that out. But a lot of errors here. This one was super fun to do. Thank you for submitting it.
And we do not recommend you put 10 pounds of porn in this harness either.
10 pounds of porn is a lot of porn. But told you, it's a roast. All right, so thank you. We're gonna move on to the next one. All right, so this one. So this is, here's the issue with this one. So right off the bat, I couldn't tell, are you selling 3 different, like if I buy this, do I get 3 different products? And so in the beginning, it was a little bit confusing. As we started to play with it, I realized like how this actually worked. And once we started to dig in here, the titles seemed okay. I don't think we really had anything with the title on this one.
Yeah, we don't like super recommend that you use those big line breakers throughout the course of it. Also, you can, especially when you have a listing like this, change the title per variation, which we would recommend, as opposed to listing them all in a single go, especially if you are selling them separately. So.
Yeah, and the new standard in chalk is probably unnecessary to have in there. You're already using the word chalk, and the new standard in is not being indexed for you guys. So I would say you have the ability to remove that. Again, same concept here. Stop with the paragraphs for bullet points. Stop with the title case. It's just unnecessary. The imagery's not bad. It's good. This
Cocaine.
looks like Coke. Like you guys are selling Coke. And unicorn dust does in fact sound like, I'm originally from Florida and I swear this was a thing. So I would love more of like, it's a climbing chalk or stuff like this first picture should have been, I remember this now.
The one with his
this one.
hands. Yep.
It should have been this one with a call out that says like, this could have been the new standard in chalk. This would have been a good picture to have that, or with a call out or this, icon thing. Gee, I'm drawing a huge blank here. This, cool, I get it, but it's just your logo. That it seems unnecessary. It seems like just you wanted to throw another picture in here.
I think a lifestyle image there would definitely be beneficial. So like, is this best for regular rock climbing gyms? Is this something that you can also use as a gymnast? You know, something to that effect where you can really see it in action.
Or working out.
Yeah.
Those guys use that stuff too.
Heck yeah.
And no EBC. So I'm not even going to bother commenting on product descriptions because A, they're always too long. B, no consumers reading them. C, you should have enhanced brand content. So go get enhanced brand content. Call your boy. Fireproof documents bags. Oh, who was that, by the way?
That was from Kia.
I think that was Kia. Are we sure? I can't remember if I put these in order or not.
Sure.
All right, thanks, Kia. This one is from Andre, right? All right, cool. So fireproof documents bag, what a novel of a title. It's a product. It's not a emo song from Panic at the Disco like 15 years ago. It is a product. Just say the title, call it a day, and it's amazing how many people are like afraid to minimize the title because they think that they're going to take away from keywords. What's the order? Is it title, search terms, bullet points, product description in order of like how is that right? So yes, your title is important, but your title also has to be consumer friendly. Focus more on the search term side and the back end.
And your first bullet point, honestly. If a consumer is going to read anything at the end of the day, it will be your first bullet point. So even having that in there and also including it as text callouts, you're taking so much of that off of the title. You
don't want to stop trying to fight the algorithm and start trying to win the consumer. Worry about that and the algorithm will help you along the way. The biggest thing that Amazon looks at for their KPIs is their conversion rate. So if you have a high conversion rate and you're having sell-through, they're going to show you more and more for anything that you're trying to show for, not stuff that you're just throwing into your title. Or again, these novel bullet points with emojis that looks like my ex-girlfriend just texted me. Like emojis in products comes off kitschy.
Yeah.
Is the right word. I don't know if I just don't like them. Plus, as far as I know, they're actually against terms of service, but they don't get flagged.
Correct.
So in theory, you could potentially be getting suppressed for something here.
Yep. Any secondary characters.
This is good. I like this. This one, we couldn't tell what's going on here.
Yeah, so these
they check marks?
Check marks, maybe arrows. Kind of looks like somebody did this with their 7-year-old in Illustrator. I would maybe go for something more sleek in approach. Also, that green text over the actual item itself is a little bit difficult to see.
Yeah.
So definitely narrowing it down for readability and picking different fonts. Different arrows.
different arrows. This one got to me because so I understand the difficulty in finding stock imagery. However, I don't think a fireproof bag is being used for a business contract and then you're bringing it to the office. I think it's meant for like birth certificates or social security cards and you hide it in your house. So if your house catches on fire, you're fine. This was interesting. I feel like we could have got a better stock photo out of this, but you found one, you have one. It's technically a lifestyle image. I'll give you half credit. This was all right. This I was okay with.
I'm still unsure as to what the pocket is for. That little piece on the inside. So even in like, value. Yeah, I would definitely added value pocket.
Added value
I would definitely like a little more clarification, especially in the image callouts, because I'm not reading the bullets. They're too chunky.
This one was a little too big for me, or a little too much. Like it was very extended. It was just over the top with a lot of stuff. The thing that I found comical about this was that none of those are documents, and yet it says fireproof document bag.
But we have our hoopy.
This looks great. I love metal albums, so this is cool. But actually, I'm okay with this. Like this makes sense. I get it. It's waterproof. It's fireproof. I get that. I know what we missed. you misspelled your own brand name. So your brand name is the, I think it's the Phoenix, but it's like the Fiend-X, and you missed your dash. So don't miss your dash. You had enhanced brand content. Okay, I always put your logo at the top there. It's an enhanced brand content. It's meant to enhance your brand. I get that. That works. I'm all for that. Please, for the love of God, stop putting paragraphs after your logo, because you immediately start to go, oh, here comes pictures, and then you go, words.
It's like when you hand a kid their first chapter book and they are immensely disappointed.
This one
gets me.
This one's hilarious. I looked at this and I go, okay, it's a family going on vacation. Is their house going to catch on fire? Like, what's happening here? It took me all day to find out that at the far bottom right is actually the girl holding the product. We didn't know she was holding the product. So let's focus a little bit more on the product, because you're not enhancing the brand here, and you're not enhancing the product. You're just enhancing this family.
Yes, your images should not be a Where's Waldo page, right? Yeah. You want to be able to fully and clearly see what you're trying to sell as.
Same with these, just too much copy. No one is reading this. And enhanced brand content is not indexed, so it's not helping you in any way. If anything, it's only hurting you. So stop with the excessive amounts of copy in enhanced brand content. This was hilarious. Your product's not even in it. I don't know what this has to do with your product. I know you can take your valuables anywhere, but I don't think I'm taking that. Like, there's one small fire. I highly doubt. Just keep your documents away from it.
You accidentally throw your passport onto a bonfire. That's what this one's for.
This one, I thought, okay, now I'm on a yoga page. So this person is now selling me yoga stuff. Like, come on. It's a roast, and I'm sorry, but what's happening here? What is she thinking about? The fire that's about to set, the fire that's set on her house, so the document thing should help? Guess we'll find out. But brownie points for having enhanced brand content, because not everyone has it. Next one. This one. So this is a good example of some of the, this is Caitlin who sent us this. So this is a good example of some of the products where they're actually not, from what we can tell, they're not doing too bad. 543 reviews with average 4 stars, it looks like. I think it's probably 4, maybe it's a little more, 4.1. Okay, I'm with you. So you have it there. What we can do to improve this, so the bullet points are on the short end. I would elongate them a little bit, but I really do appreciate the limit to them. Like, as a consumer, I will actually read that, and you're clearly still being indexed. So for all of you who had paragraphs for bullet points, use this as an example. It's a little bit too short, but it's right there.
They also do well with including all of their variations on it, and I think the images keep it pretty clear as to what the actual print on the fancy long ribbon will be.
Yeah. Pictures are good. I would love some call outs, some infographics. So what we learn later on as we start to dig through this is that this is not something you pull up over your leg.
I believe
you actually
it's like
lace
a garter, right? I think it starts as a garter and then you lace it around your leg. That's something that I would like maybe some clarification on. So, I don't wear these every day.
So we'll get to the enhanced brand content side, but that would be something I would want in the imagery in case I choose not to scroll down. Not everyone scrolls down. So we will, in fact, scroll down.
I believe in their original images, they also had a GIF, right?
Yes, I like this.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh, no. They had one.
Originally, when we
first had one the other day when we first looked at this.
Yeah, I really loved that was there. I thought it was like a little bit different and definitely would fit well with a younger generation. It was like a boomerang, where it was kind of like an up and down quick shot.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
Love the lifestyle images. This all works for me. This I would probably put into the image somewhere and break up the text. This is where we went, oh, you actually have to do it like yourself. In which case I would absolutely want like a how-to almost, of like how simple it is. Because at first it was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I'm like, that looks like that would be a nightmare to put on and to try to figure out. It's like an IKEA for your leg.
Oh, it's forgot.
But I like these images. These work. Gets a point, lifestyle. I'm all about that. So
I think it definitely reaches the intended audience that it's going for.
This gets tolerable. This one.
That
So
is
this
from
was sent by Morris. So, okay, so what do we got here? So this one, oddly enough, too short of a title now. It's a headphone, right?
I would assume as much from
It's a
the
headphone.
image.
The word headphone is not in the title. That would be pretty obvious. I get it's an in-ear headphone, but you also did in-ear / aluminum. So it's like, who's searching in-ear aluminum? Because no one wants to shove aluminum in their ear. They're searching in-ear headphone.
That sounds more like a personal preference. We're here to
yeah, it's true. I'm not here to judge
people, okay?
if you like shoving plastic into your face. Bullet points. I don't know if maybe your category is limited, but I only see 4. You should have 5. I would utilize all 5. They are short. I'll give you credit to that. I don't know why every other word is capitalized. It's not a title. It's a bullet point. So make sure you clean that up. It seems earphones. Yep, you never used the word headphone once. It's a headphone.
Yike.
At least that's how I would search it.
Yeah.
I would literally search in-ear headphones. I like in-ear headphones. That's how I search that. I don't use the word earphones.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely a case where keyword research was either missing or not necessarily followed. It might have been done, but not considering the other options in which someone might search a product.
Yeah, and the other problem with headphones, we've done consumer electronics a lot. You have to come off like the world's most premium product ever, and then let your price point be whatever you set it as. So if you're going to sit at $19.90, that's fine, but you need to have a serious, like, professional, wildly premium looking product. I can't zoom in here. It's too small. It seems kind of faded in the background. This is actually against terms of service. It's supposed to be a white background only. That picture we'll get to.
I also take issue with the fact that one of the earbuds doesn't have the little jelly guy on it. So when I look at this, I automatically feel uncomfortable. Like, you know, when you lose one on the bus
like
right over to work, and then you have to shove it in if you.
Like you're actually going to jam aluminum into your ear.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. This one, I get it, standard picture, but still, again, these are all really small. And this picture tells the same story as this one. So you could potentially get rid of this one and keep this one and replace it with a lifestyle image or something.
I think especially with headphones and music-related devices, the people who are shopping for them and will eventually be swayed want those lifestyle pictures because it helps them picture themselves wearing it and using it.
Yeah. This one's hilarious. It looks like an influencer did it, and you guys stole it off their Instagram, threw it up here. It also looks like it's partially an ad for breakfast. I can't really tell.
I'm sure. I'm about to also buy a motivational planner with this one.
This is too small. I can't read it. I have no idea what's going on, and why it says happy day in it is beyond me as well. This is just, okay, you took the same picture and threw it with a speaker, and then this one does have you. What do you do all the EBC ones first? So yeah, way too much copy. This looks like a snake.
It does look like a snake.
It's not a snake. What is it?
It's reverberating water.
Oh, it's a river. Oh, and those are
yes,
rocks.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a snake.
Not indeed a snake.
That's good. I don't like snakes. They scare me.
No,
how are they moving? You know what? Forget it. There's way too much copy here. This is too much copy. No one's going to read this. So it's a headphone. I want to see like a cool DJ using it.
Yeah.
And then I want to be like that DJ. Like, that's what I would go for. These aren't bad. I'm okay with these.
And those are also I believe, some of the only original images that were not initially in the listing optimization. So I think also the point of EBC is to add, right? Like, you want it to be enhanced. You want to give it some sort of value. And when you're reusing your images in a cyclical fashion like that, it kind of detracts.
Yeah, think of like the enhanced brand content is there to obviously enhance the brand, common sense, but it's also there to further the clarification of the product. So if you weren't sold at the top with that picture, maybe the enhanced brand content will finally get you. So they're deciding to stay on your listing. They're deciding to look a little bit more. So give them more. Don't give them the same crap in different areas. Oh, this one.
Sweating a little just looking at it.
Okay, so who sent us this one? Oscar. So we actually, this one's interesting. So this one, the reason we put this one a little bit towards the front here is because we wanted to discuss something more than just the optimization side of things. So when I first see this, I go, what is happening? There's so much here. It says there's 5 water filters, but then there's 4 free. And then I start counting, and I can't tell if that math is lining up because the purple areas look like filters, but it turns out that they're not. So it took me some investigating to figure out whether this was in fact 9 filters or not. So ideally, what I would say is just say comes with 9 stage RO water filters and ignore the rest of it because you're really just repeating yourself. And with that, that would shorten your title. That would kind of alleviate that a little bit. Obviously, we didn't do any keyword research on this product, but the bullet points seem okay. Length. Length seems good. No.
Remove contaminants.
Yeah.
That seems like it would probably rank.
I'm cool there.
Setup. Yeah.
So then we go through this stuff. It's a little bit busy. You have some call outs. You have some infographics. It's not meant to be a sexy product. No one's hanging out at home going, oh, I'm going to look into water filters. Like, it's something you need, right? So you go to look for it. Here's why we wanted to do this. Want to make sure we discussed it. There's no reviews on this product. So I'm going to assume that you sent us this product because it's not moving and you want to know why. If you're watching, let me know if I'm right. Where's our little chat? Have we heard some people? Yeah, a couple. So if you're there, let me know if I'm right, if it's just not moving and that's why you're sent us this. So essentially, the thought here is that contrary to popular belief, not every product does great on Amazon. There are things that people are looking for, and Amazon is becoming, to me, it's kind of like a drugstore. Like those type of products are what's starting to be more and more sold on Amazon. So a $210 product to buy some water filters might be a little bit up there. I would probably prefer to buy that from an actual website. So assuming expresswater.com exists, I would prefer to buy it from there than I would on Amazon. There are just things that do better than others on Amazon. And I think this is probably a good case of something that's good to have on Amazon because it's always nice to, play the real estate game with that and be on and diversify. But I feel like you're better having a content strategy and probably more Google ads. This is probably something I would search on Google, not so much on Amazon.
This photoshopping is a little abysmal.
Yeah, it's a little rough. It's not. This is long. That's too much copy.
Yeah.
I should never have to read more ever. I never want to read more. The answer is read more? No.
And this, like the last one, kind of took all of the same images.
One.
Yeah. Kind of took all of the same images and just threw them down below.
Yeah.
One thing I did like about this listing, though, was that they also included a video. So the video up at the top is one of the first ones we've seen with an actual video.
Yeah. It's a good video, too.
Yeah. It was a nice video.
Yeah. This one was actually just sent to me, so that's not going to be that person. Let's fly through. So at first, it looks like, oh, cool, you're selling a black box. So
with a lid.
It is, in fact, a floating shelf.
Okay.
So what I would say here, some products you can get away with not having a white background, and this feels like one of those products you might want to try and see if they'll let you do it, just because this doesn't look like a floating shelf to me. It looks like a black box, and I didn't know it was a floating shelf until I read your title. But even if you left that as is, there's nothing on here that shows it's a floating shelf. Put it on a wall, put it on, however this will be utilized, and make sure that it's actually showcasing how the product is used. Call-outs, infographics, size charts, all that fun stuff. Long bullet points, title case, again, stop. Oh, God, no one is reading that. Oof. No. No one is reading that.
This also feels like a personal life story. Oh, yikes. So the images, I like that you can scroll through them. I think that's kind of a neat little thing that you did there, especially if you have a lot of content. But in half of them, I can't tell that you're selling a shelf.
Yeah. Ooh. This is exhausting. This one, the cream.
This is a body cream for NASCAR drivers.
Yes. You have reached the finish line. This is the last cream you'll ever need. So pictures this from a distance. I thought this was your product next to several fancy trash garbage bags, trash bags. Turns out it's not.
Okay.
So as you read it, okay, this is not an added value to me. This is just, it so happens to come in different bags. This is something that if you really want to add it, fine, put it towards the end. It doesn't need to be there. What needs to be in the front is what makes this cream better? Why am I using it? Who uses it? Stuff like that. So maybe you want to focus on ingredients. This I get. Please don't be lazy and just copy and paste your ingredients in here. Do call outs, get little icons of trees and stuff like that. There's 19 would have to look at that, but this looks like a belly button. So someone holding it and then like scooping it out or something less stomach-like. This, I don't like this. I see this a lot of people who just take pictures of the side of the product. Like, if you want to take a picture of the side of the product, that's great. But I can't read that. There's no way. Like, I can't. Stop it. And like, I'd have to zoom in and then sit here and read this. And no one is doing this.
Pictures are zoomable though.
Yeah, that's true.
Zoom in.
And you also don't quote me on this, but I don't think you have that ability on mobile. So that means that on mobile, you wouldn't be able to do that. And then this, I don't even think that's really your product. Yeah, and I can't zoom in on it to find out. So this is just like a stock photo you found that you put in here.
I do kind of like your title. I have nothing personal against it.
Yeah.
I think you have like body cream, hand lotion. Those are things that people are searching for. Also would be interested in actually using this product. It has a lot of, like, I always look for things with shea butter, tea tree oil, and aloe in it. So
nice.
I can imagine it being a nice lotion.
Shorter bullet points. Credit for that. I think a little too short, but shorter. So in the right direction.
Again, would definitely do well.
Again, with the capitalizing every word, though, it's not a title. You don't have to do that. You did have enhanced brand content. No one's reading this, so this is way too much stuff right here. And then this is just like stock imagery that you found and threw in here. So it seems lazy.
I also really do not love the smiley face on the foot.
Yeah.
That gives me very strange, like, Spy Kids vibes of the toe people. If anyone understands that reference, but that one hurts me a little bit.
So we got time for a couple more, and then I got a few other things I want to go through. This one we panicked on because we actually have done multiple of these. Who sent us this one? Is this?
I believe
is this Brent?
This was maybe Brent.
I think. FK. No, not Brent.
No, Brent. Oh, this is right here. Yeah, this is going to Robert.
Robert sent us this one. So Robert, call me. We've done multiple of your competitors. So we've done a handful of these. So we panicked before we looked at this one because we were like, someone's trying to trick us. But no, we're good. So super long title, unnecessary. Bullet points. Dear God, man, come on. Like, no, it's so long. Super easy cleanup, and then 500 words that you're not going to read. So stop with the long. Again, I'm just repeating myself on the bullet points. This
very hard to read.
Very hard to read. I got the idea. I understand what you're trying to do. I would rather have, like, next to the plate, have, like, 3 of these, and then like X, 6X, and then like 5X. So like I can actually see and compare. So like the happy birthday banner, maybe I don't know what that is, or the dinner paper plates or the dessert paper plates, like which one is which. Like I would rather it be obnoxiously simple for me. This is cool. I get this. It's like everything else set up. A call out or an infographic or two, I think would be nice.
I love this image. I think this is the cutest thing in the entire world. I do not have a child around the age of 5 to 8 who would have a unicorn birthday party, but if I did, I would love for it to look like this.
They're adorable.
Right?
I also want a cupcake now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
We now have plans after this.
Yeah, I like all of, minus this one. I like all of these as long as they had like some call outs or some infographics or something like that. And then I'm pretty sure, yep, you didn't have enhanced brand content. That's a shame.
Yeah, I think that one also had a lot of potential for EBC to like really sell someone on it.
All right. Last one. So long on the title, definitely. You use digestion and digestive twice. which is okay. But like some of this is a little on the long side for me.
T is in there more times than I would like it to be.
Yes. Don't love the pictures. I think they could be a little bit cleaner. Especially this one because that's the same pictures with a different background. Yeah, it's just kind of the same stuff we've been talking about. It's a little small. Those are like emoji infographics.
Yeah, that'd be also impossible to read on Google.
Yeah. I don't know
People are very excited about cleansing their colon. Really, nothing gets them as stoked. White people in their mid-30s, is a good old colon cleanse.
Thanks,
right?
Shutterstock. Again, bullet points, same problem, different day. And way too much copy right after the logo. It's like a theme, and then way too much copy here. You have an interest. Like I like your packaging. It's not bad. I feel like you could utilize those elements throughout this, and you chose not to. And we disagree with that.
I do like your comparison chart, though. I do find that that's helpful.
Yeah. I like that. Those are okay. I like this, but I think the paragraphs are unnecessary. Like, just go straight to the point on what it is and call it a day. Remember, no one's going to sit here and read this. No one's making, like, think about it like this. If someone were to come to your listing, do you really think they're going to read every piece of copy that you put on there? If not, why is it there? Just put enough on there where they'll read all the important points and they'll decide whether they want the product or not. No one's going to read, for 15 minutes to decipher whether to buy this colon cleanser or not. If it's not straight and to the point and obvious that they need it, then they're just going to move on. I think that for the sake of everyone's time, that is plenty of roasts. So hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming. So of course we had we have some stuff for you guys. So if you go to, we made it a bit.ly just to make it shorter. So if you go to bit.ly/listing ebook, we do have an ebook. It's not gated. You don't have to worry about it. It'll just download right there. You can go check out our ebook there. We're actually already updating that as well. Mm-hmm. So take a look at that. It will definitely give you a good guideline, and then shoot me an email in like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'll have a new one for you updated that we did a little bit more to today's best practices and what we know Amazon to work for today. But that one is still very good. I just want to make sure we tweaked it a little bit. But go ahead, download that. And then, of course, the one thing that we noticed is that almost everyone's enhanced brand content sucked. So what I'm going to say is, if anyone needs help with their enhanced brand content, feel free to shoot me an email, andrew@sellerschoice.digital. Mention this webinar, and I promise you I will give you our best rate I possibly can, because at this point, I just want to fix what I just looked at. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah, it was great. Great being here. I've never participated in a roast before. I tried to keep it a little kinder than my colleague Andrew over here. But
I feel like I was nicer than I expected to.
You held back, I think.
A little bit. Yesterday was worse.
A lot of self-restraint.
Thank you so much for joining us. I will send everyone the slides, so you guys have that. If you have any questions or you need help with anything, of course, feel free to reach out to us. Follow us. Make sure you sign up for the Sellers Post. Guess who writes that stuff?
It's me.
So give Morgan some love and go check out the Sellers Post. It's our daily newsletter of e-commerce news. But I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
Hey, do you like this e-com content? Sign up for the Sellers Post newsletter for more e-commerce content straight to your inbox, or follow us on social with the links below. Thanks for watching.